Hey guys, what's up? I'm Shay, and today I want to bring to you guys a very special video to me. I'm a huge Beyonce fan, and I have been wanting to rank her albums for the longest time ever. And I have filmed this video so many times, but every time I kind of like switch around my order, but whatever. I finally decided, you know what? These are my opinions, and I mean, we all have our own opinions about her. Some people may not like her, some people may love her, some people are whatever about her. I personally love her, and today I just want to have like some fun. So I'm gonna be ranking her 6 solo studio albums. I'm not including The Gift, and I'm not including the Coachella live album, just so you guys know. So without further ado, in 6th place, it's gonna be Dangerously in Love. And I mean, this one is, to me, it's kind of a given that it would be in 6th place, just because it's kind of an underwhelming album as a whole, to be honest. She's talked about many times how, like, when she first played it for her label, like, they were kind of just like, bro, like, this is not good. Like, they didn't think that there was gonna be anything to come out of it. And obviously she has like her singles. She has Naughty Girl, Baby Boy, Crazy in Love, Dangerously in Love, Me, Myself and I. Like, all those were singles, and I personally love every single one of the songs. Like, those are freaking bops. But other than that, in that album, I feel like the only other good songs are like Speechless. I really love Signs for some reason. Like, I love the vibe of that song. I love the rhythm, like, it's like pretty sultry. But then, like, other than that, I feel like there might be one other song. I don't recall the name of it, to be honest, but like, that's why I put this album in 6th place, because to me it's not very memorable. It's kind of just like, it's awesome that it's Beyonce's first solo album after Destiny's Child, but I think there was definitely a lot more left to be desired, if that's the correct way to say that. But yeah, that's number 6, Dangerously in Love. At number 5, I'm gonna place I Am Sasha Fierce, and I'm placing this album for somewhat the same reason. I really actually do love this album. I think that it has a lot more like likable songs, in my opinion. But I am gonna tell you guys that when this album first came out, I was not a fan of it. Like, I thought that it was just way too commercial, way too pop. I didn't really like the direction that Beyonce was going with this one, just because it was like, I was so used to, Destiny's Child, R&B, sultry Beyonce, and then like, and then she continued that with like Bday and stuff like that, and then she comes out with I Am Sasha Fierce, and I'm just like, oh my god, like, I did not like it at all. I thought her songs were just very overwhelming and very just like pop. I didn't like it. But then my dad bought my sister and I the DVD of the I Am World Tour, and I saw the way that she performs these songs live, and I was just like, wow, it completely changed my mind about her. And I feel like this happens with a lot of artists, because there's been a lot of artists that I'm kind of like iffy about, and if I see them live, I'm just like, oh my god, it gives you like a whole different perspective. So definitely, watching the concert helped me like those songs even more, and now I love it. Like, I think maybe there's like 1 or 2 songs that I don't like, and they're definitely Single Ladies, whatever. And there's another one, Hello. Okay, like, when you watch the concert, that song is amazing. It is just powerful. She's like, going all out with her band. They're like, like performing it and everything, and then you listen to it in the album, and you're just like, the way she drags out Hello, the way what she does with her vocals, I cannot. And I love the live version of that song, but when I put the album, I'm like, skip this shit until I cannot listen to it, because it's so bad. But other than that, I love Diva, I love Ego, I love Satellite, I love Smash Into You, I love That's Why You're Beautiful. Like, there's like so many hidden gems in that album that I feel like a lot of people take for granted, and I'm really definitely more of a fan of like the slower songs, the ballads, than I am of like the poppy, like, side 1. I think it's like side 1 of the album, because that album's kind of split into 2 sides. So I think side 1 is like the more pop one, and side 2 is like the ballad one. But yeah, so that's I Am Sasha Fierce. So on number 4, I'm definitely gonna have to put Self-Titled Beyonce. And this one, it's kind of the same as Dangerously in Love to me. Like, I love a lot of the songs in it, but as a whole, I've never been really able to vibe with this album, because I just feel like this album has so many mixed messages, you know, like when you watch the music videos along with it, you feel like there's a story being told, but when you only listen to the audio, you're kind of just like, you kind of get lost in it, you know. And I appreciate this album because of how many topics she like talked about in it, and I feel like this is where she started getting more personal, you know, and kind of just like what we as fans see more opening up to us about like her personal life and stuff, you know. Like she talked about like insecurities with her relationship, like somewhat infidelity with like jealous, and having that like doubt about your partner. She talked about her miscarriage in heaven, and you know, she talks about being a mother in Blue, and like, so there's a lot of beautiful messages that are there. But I'm just saying, like, as a whole, it's kind of a weird album if you really listen to it, because it's like you go from like Pretty Hurts to Ghost / Haunted to crazy, Drunk in Love, and then, you know, like there's just like this whole order and stuff. And I do love a lot of the songs. Like I love No Angel, I love Jealous, I love Drunk in Love is like one of my all-time favorite songs. Flawless is like, oh, I actually have like a little side story about Flawless. I have a 3-star tattoo right here because of that song, because, you know, to me that song means a lot with having to do with like insecurities and being insecure, but at the same time feeling like, you know, F it, like I'm gonna do my thing. And because that's basically what that song is about, you know. She's like, I woke up like this, like, yeah, I woke up, you know, maybe not the best, feeling the best, looking the best, but she's like, I'm gonna use that and like use it as energy to feel me, you know. And there's a deeper story about why I put it there, but you know, I got my 3 stars to represent Flawless. So, you know, there's a lot of songs that individually mean a lot to me, but I'm saying like as a whole, it's a really weird album. And like, I appreciate the fact that she got personal with us, and the fact that, you know, like she finally started opening it up to us and like letting us in her life, or what we think is her life, because to be honest, we don't really know what's true and what isn't, but as far as we know, that's what it is. So definitely at number 4 is Self-Titled. At number 3, and this is where it gets really difficult, because I go back and forth with all of these albums, because I don't know, they go deeper than what the music makes me feel. It's essentially with just like the whole album, and like the feelings that I get from those albums. But at number 3, I am going to put, this is difficult, I'm gonna have to put Lemonade as number 3. And the only reason why I put Lemonade as number 3 is just like I said, because the second and first place have just like completely different meanings. But I put Lemonade as number 3, not because it's a bad album, not because I hate every song in it. No, I don't. I love that album. Again, this is where she got even more personal with us, and what we think is the story of, you know, a lot of her life, a lot of her family's life, a lot of her mother's life, her, you know, friends, and mainly, you know, like her as being a Black woman. And the reason why I can't touch so much up on this topic is because clearly I'm not a Black woman. So whatever messages were sent targeted at Black women or at Black people, I cannot sit here and say, oh my god, yes, that, you know, like totally affected me. So I'm just gonna speak about this album as a woman and say that, like, you know, I still appreciate it 100%, because it is an album that, yeah, like it touches up a lot on, you know, betrayal and like giving your all to your partner and feeling like they just totally just threw it all in your face and was like, you know, screw you. And I personally haven't been through anything remotely close to that, but you know, my mom has. And so when this album came out, like, my life was still, you know, untouched with all these things. And then a few years later, you know, my parents got divorced and everything, and I came back and listened to this album, and I just couldn't help but just like cry and just think like, wow, like it's crazy how much time can make a difference when it comes to music. And I mean, maybe given that, it should still be at a higher spot, but at the same time, it's like I do feel like there's something that I lack at getting from it, just because, yeah, like I'm not a black woman. And you know, that's not to say that like people can't relate to something that doesn't, you know, necessarily pertain to them or something like that. But at the same time, like, it's true, you know, like it's like for me that I'm Hispanic and I listen to Spanish music, and I go and show my friend who doesn't know Spanish, and I'm like, oh, here, listen to this. I can't expect them to be like, hell yeah, you know, like, because it's like clearly there's a barrier there that it's just like they don't fully understand. And that's how I feel about this album. And you know, like, and like I said, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not like, oh my god, I hate Beyonce for doing that. Like, no, like clearly she is a black woman who wants to celebrate being black and stuff. And you know, like, I can celebrate it with her as a fan and like as somebody who enjoys her art and stuff. But I can't really say like, yes, you know, like this fits me. And that's the only reason why this album is not at a higher place for me. And I hope that I don't offend anyone by saying that. It's really just like, you know, how I feel. But other than that, musically, I think it is an amazing album. I love pretty much every single song in this album. And you know, like I said, it definitely hits different now, knowing what has happened like in my life, and you know, like with my parents and stuff. And just like even the song Daddy Lessons, like I've always liked that song. But I remember one time I was driving to work, like post my parents' divorce, and Daddy Lessons came on, and I'm literally sobbing in my car to work, because I'm just like like, you know, it's just you grow up and your dad's always like, be careful with men, be careful with men. And then, you know, you grow up and you're like, oh, that's why you were telling me to be careful. But anyway, that's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, so, you know, Lemonade is number 3 because, like I said, it's a beautiful album, and I love that she opened up to us that much with it. But, you know, I can't really say like it's an album for me, like personally, you know, if that makes any sense. So moving on to second place, I am gonna put 4. And this might kind of trip some of you guys out, because 4 wasn't very critically acclaimed. Like, 4 was a flop of hers, people want to call it. But I am a 4 stan. Like, I love 4, mainly also because, I don't know, like, I remember, because most of my previous Beyonce albums were given to me. They weren't anything that I purchased, and 4 was actually the first album, that Beyonce album, that I myself purchased personally, because other ones were given to me by my dad, by friends, whatever. But 4, I remember it released at Target, and I took my ass to Target, and I was like, I purchased it, and it just felt amazing. So there's that story to it. But honestly, it was literally a really cool moment, because that's when Beyonce decided to take her career into her own hands. And as a woman, to me, that's freaking awesome. Because imagine like having your dad manage you your whole life, and one day you have to like muster up the fucking balls to tell him like, hey, I'm gonna fire you because I want to take my career into my own hands. Like, how scary must that be? And honestly, you know, like, obviously what we've heard, what she has said about her life, you know, like, they had a estranged relationship for a very, very long time, and they did not talk. And I'm pretty sure her dad hated her at some point. But it's just like, imagine like the fear and everything that goes into that. And I don't know, like, I appreciate that album because of that, and because like it's a pretty empowering album, you know. And I feel like it's the first album where Beyonce really decided to like step out of that Beyonce zone and kind of just like do her own thing, and you know, produce her music, and like just really record whatever she wants. And she said it, she's like, in this album, I didn't care about radio play, I didn't care about the singles, I didn't care about anything. She's like, I just wanted my fans to experience, you know, what I want to make and what I love doing. And to me, that's like freaking awesome. And I really, this album, I love it as a whole. Maybe there's some days where I can't really listen to like Start Over and I Miss You and those, just because, you know, they're like super feel song where you kind of have to be like you know. But at the same time, I love it from beginning to end, and it's such a great album. So like, I really, really appreciate her for like taking that step, and for always like encouraging her fans to do the same. You know, it doesn't necessarily mean fire your boss or fire whoever, but like, or like your manager or whatever, like, you know, say screw you to your boss, but like, definitely take matters into your own hands, and like, don't be afraid to do so, you know. So like, I'm sorry if I'm getting off topic with like most of these. Like musically, like I said, to me it's an amazing album. And like, yeah, I guess I can say that this album is sort of like self-titled, where it's like a little mixed up, but at the same time I feel like the message in here is all like love and a lot of self-love and a lot of just like hope, I want to say, you know, because all of the songs kind of show that, you know, kind of like center around the same thing. Like pretty much every song is like a message about like love and like loving yourself and stuff. So there's that. So that leaves me with the number one album. If you guys haven't guessed by now, it's Bday. And Bday, it's, I mean, it's the best Beyonce album up to date. And I apologize if some of you guys don't agree with that. If you guys already clicked this video because you were like, man, F this bitch, she doesn't know what she's talking about. Like, Bday, it's a vibe. It's a, just like, it's everything that you would want in an album. It's vocals, it's music, it's vibes, it's emotions, it's like the ranges that she freaking hits. It's like the fact that like she's like, you know, I'm gonna go out with my girlfriends and have a great time, but then like, you know, I'm gonna kick you out of my house because you're possibly cheating on me, and I'm gonna cry and resent you, but then I'm still gonna get up and go get me. But like, it's just so much, like every single song is just a freaking A plus, like chef's kiss song. I just, from beginning to end, this is the only album that I can honestly say that I do not skip any songs when I'm listening to it. Doesn't matter what mood I'm in, doesn't matter where I'm going, who I'm with, like I will listen to Bday from front to back, from back to front. I will replay certain songs because I love it. Like it's just, it's a feel good album. It's like sultry R&B, just everything you want in Beyonce album. And yeah, like you know, as a fan of Beyonce, I appreciate her artistry and, you know, the steps that she has taken and the chances that she has taken, because she has done a lot that so many artists are afraid to do. And that's one of the reasons why I'm such a big fan of hers, is because she just like breaks barriers every single time. And you know, like to me it's just, it's amazing. And I feel like every single album that she's put out, she has broken a different barrier, and I really appreciate her for no longer caring about like radio play or anything, you know, because it's like, it's true, you know, when it comes to music, it shouldn't be about singles, it shouldn't be about like how that one song is gonna make you feel. It should definitely be about the whole album. And like I want to say, like it's okay to also not enjoy the whole thing, you know, like just because I'm a fan of Beyonce doesn't mean that I gotta be like kissing her ass with every song that she releases or everything, you know. Like there's songs that are for some people and there's songs that aren't, you know. And I think that like being honest with ourselves and being honest about the things that we enjoy and stuff is like the best. So I know this is a really long video, but it's a video that I have been wanting to film for a really long time. And like I said, I hope I don't offend anybody. Like these are really just my opinions. Obviously I love Beyonce as a whole and I love all her music, but definitely, you know, like there's just some stuff that I enjoy more, and it's perfectly okay. I'm a human being. So, you know, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you like it, subscribe, and if I have any fellow Beyonce fans out there, like let me know how you rank her albums. You know, like I always encourage people to talk to me and they never really do. I don't know, it's because they never make it this far into my videos, but like definitely I would love to know what place you guys rank your albums in, and you know, like can have discussions about it and stuff. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye.